Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Nana Williams in Depth. I'm your host, A Friendly Tree, and today we're going to talk about Shockwave Palm. Oh, what do we say about Shockwave Palm? I don't know. Let's make sure the settings are right, because that's a way I can stall for time while I try and think of what to say. I think we'll turn off the CPU attack info, because that's not relevant to this. We've got the settings right. So, Shockwave Palm. Why do we call it this move? Or why do we call it Shockwave Palm? I guess it's based on the animation, to be honest, like a lot of moves. There it is, 63, Shockwave Palm. So the input is b+1+2, and this is a move Nina's had for quite a while. And it's a constant move that people are asking, how do you use this move? Where is it useful? And you know what? I don't know. So let's look at the move. b+1+2. It's cool. Like, look at that. Like, look at the opponent get sent down. Crumple stun. Cool damage, knocks him away. Sort of a unique, kind of old animation, but it's something special. It's 18 frames startup, and we're doing 32 damage. So unfortunately in this scenario, if we look at the range of it, so if we go range 2, it's about range 2 that it'll hit. Let's go a little bit past range 2. Yeah, so I'm going to say about range 2 is where you use it. The problem here is for an 18 frame startup move, you've also got this, which is about the same range, a little bit less. And I mean that gives you a guaranteed there. So that's 47 damage. And then you've got this, which is as much damage as you want. So why would you go for 32 damage and a knockdown when you can get 78? I don't know. 18 frame startup, plus 3 on hit. This does not change on counter hit. And it gives you 1 point of extra damage because of how the damage is distributed. So even on counter hit, it's not anything special. Plus 3, minus 7 a block, yeah. The first hit only has 1 active frame, the second hit has 3 active frames for some reason. No idea why. At plus 3, you really don't get much. But the knockdown is interesting, and I'm pretty sure they can't do a lot of the normal options. Yeah, so it negates all of the ground techniques. So that's something going for it. At least you're limiting their wake-up options. And they're in face down, feet away. Which means it's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad situation for the opponent to be. If they press anything there, well, you've got to actually confirm it whiffs, and then you can get a punish. So I suppose the Oki's pretty good, but when you're going for that little damage and that bit of Oki, when you can just set up different Oki, you can get to the wall, you can do whatever you want with the other options. And I forgot to mention this one, up forward 2 has more range too, so it's not like it's a trade where you have a little bit more range with this one opposed to the other 2 options. Up forward 2 is just better in that situation. What else can we say about it? She does go sort of down, and I believe that means that she can go under some highs. But so can up forward 2. So. Okay, no, never mind. Let's put some real frame advantage in there. Let's go, yeah, never mind. So it doesn't even go under highs. Or if it does, it's very selective and not worth it. So it doesn't really have any evasion. It's pretty slow. Its range isn't great. What other properties could it have? Let's go back to repeat. We'll go jab into it. Does it track? Oh, it kind of tracks. Never mind. So it's linear, so you can't really use it to catch someone stepping. And once again, using back 3 or up for 2 is still going to be better there. And you've got other moves that are faster that can work in those situations too. So it's not good for catching stepping, it's not good for range. It doesn't have a great deal of damage, and while the Oki situation looks okay, you don't have the frame advantage to really force it, so it's only a good situation if the opponent does something and is not familiar with the situation. Okay, what else does it do? If we do it in a combo, it sends them flying away, but not in a way that we can get any kind of follow-up, and you're doing it at a loss of damage. So 40 damage opposed to like that, which is the same number of hits, 44, and easy to do. I mean, even that does one less damage. That does one less damage. So you can see it's not really useful there either. The only property it has that has any validity is it is a wall or a balcony break. So you can use it as a wall or balcony break. But let's go to a stage. Let's go to Howard Estate. And we'll be on Nina very quickly, and then we'll show you another character. Oops, wall break. So if we do this, it whiffs on females. So you could do this, but why do that when you could do... So that was 3 hits. You can do that and you get 1 more damage. Same number of hits. So yeah, it's not really useful there. But it does work on males. Lucky Law. But this poses another problem. Whoops. So we go like this. Now it works. But you recover very slow. So you can do a down 2, 3. But if I try and do something like a down back 2, pretty sure it's quite tight. Yeah, you can't get that to work. So yeah, that's a thing. And then it becomes even more fun when you want to go to a big character and you find that it's inconsistent here. So that worked there. I think it might be an axis thing. I think it's if it's slightly off axis. Oops. Let's just walk. It's going to be fine in this video because I'm doing a video. So it's going to be like, no, it works perfectly fine. Either way, it's inconsistent and it can send them flying away. I'll show you with the bears because it's pretty consistently inconsistent against the bears. Kuma. Which is a shame. So we go like this, ding, 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 ding. And I mean, that happening there against the bears is similar to how that happens. It's because Nina's doing a move that pushes her forward. So she goes through the character's hurt box. And that's just a thing, but unfortunately it means you can't use it against the bears, and it's inconsistent against other big characters too. Anyway, that was properties, kind of going into application too. Let's properly go into application of this move next. Okay, so how do we use this move? How do we use this move, everyone? First off, I want to say that I think every move has its place in the game. I like the diversity, I like the fact that the big move sets can allow you to make a character your own. I don't want a game where everyone's using the same character and just using the same 2 or 3 moves. But there are some moves that probably need to be used less than others. My verdict when it comes to this move, back 1+2, is that it's more of a move that we're going to be looking at for expression, for expressing the character, for going, alright, this is my own character, I'm a unique Nina compared to other players, and that is when you're going to be throwing out this move. Okay, let's talk about how some ways that we can actually use this move. So I talked about a bit of it before. On hit, it knocks them down, and near the wall, you do actually have a good situation where you can do a few different things. So because of the way they're knocked down, they can't do much. They can do the get up kicks, middle low. They can't do a spring kick or a recovery kick or anything like that. They can't tech roll. They can just get up, really, or do a kick. And you can of course use moves that will counter hit them if they do one of the attacks. So really the best thing they can do is stand up and block. So you can force them into a mix-up on hit near the wall. The problem is just when you've got moves of the same speed that just give you such better situations. Why would you use it? To express yourself. But at least there's some validity there. Now if we go away from the wall, I did talk before about this, it auto spaces for you. So the only options they have there that attack, you can very easily just stand here and confirm. And of course they can't do any other attacks, so the only thing they can really do here is get up backwards. The problem there being, you're kind of getting away from where Nina wants to be. So the only way you can really reach them there is with risk. So it's essentially just resetting you to neutral. And once again, you've got other options that are the same or better range, similar range at least, similar speed or faster, that give you just much better situations to be in. So it has its place, it has its uses, but I'd only really use it when you're trying to express the character as your own. You look at the move and it looks a bit like it might be an elbow to start, but I mean it's called Shockwave Palm, so unfortunately it is a palm, which means that it can be parried and it can be attack reversed by anyone that can reverse punches. So it doesn't even have any validity there. Going to the main situation we'll see people use it, it is the wall break. And of course it only works like this on males, and you do not recover fast enough to get a lot of the options that you'd want. I guess it has some validity in combo videos. You can do things like that quite easily. That drop, sorry, but you could do a b+1+2 there. But I mean, if we look at the damage, if we look at the situation, it's just not optimal. So for example, we do this. I can't get a one-hit bound there. One-hit tailspin, sorry. I can only get a two-hit one, like a down 2, 3. So doing it late in one of these combos, you can't really get much. Also, if you're doing it and you just wanted to go for damage, it's hard to get that to be guaranteed. Usually they can just get up and avoid it. So sorry, let's set them right. Oh, we did have it right. Anyway, yeah. So it's not too valid there. And then if we also consider the damage, so let's say we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 hits after the wall splat. That's our limit. We got 48 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. 45 damage. 1, 2. Oops. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, we can't get that. But it's a lot of hits for a tiny bit more damage, and generally that's not what you want. You want to do a few hits for as much damage as possible. You could do things like... Oh, that was bad, sorry. You could do things like this, 55 damage, and it's only 3 hits off the wall. That sounds pretty good, but once again the recovery is pretty bad, so I wouldn't really be doing that. And well, you could instead do... Oh, that works. Yikes. What I wanted to do... That. Yeah. So there are just better options for this. Alright, let's stop resetting, because the next thing I want to talk about is where I do use this move. So, like I said, you could do this. Boom, 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 boom. this is the scenario where I'd use it, okay? Balcony breaks. Balcony breaks and floor breaks, you have better recovery because your character does the move and then they jump down. And this means that instead of having the long recovery of back 1+2, you could do a back 1+2 here and then jump down and do whatever combo you want, really. The only thing that may differ is the positioning of your character, so you might be on a different axis compared to different moves you use. A good example of this is like Nina's down forward 1 throw. If you use that on a floor break, she'll often end up being back turned, and that's just how it is. While if you use a 1+4, you won't end up being back turned, will you? So it's just property changes like that, but you recover to do these moves in the same sort of way, or more or less. So I'll give an example here. I'll use down back 2 afterwards, so you can see that I recover in time to do that after a balcony break. So that's a good scenario for me to use it, and that's pretty much the only scenario that you'll see me use back 1+2 is a balcony break against a medium-sized character. So not the female characters, and not like Jack, Marduk, Gigas, or the Bears, just because their hitboxes can be a bit inconsistent and it may not actually break. Alright, I think that is all that we want to talk about with application of this move. Time to go on to a summary. Nina's Shockwave Palm, or back 1+2, is a move that leaves a lot of players scratching their head, me included. It's pretty slow startup at 18 frames, doesn't do a great deal of damage, only 32, and while it leaves them in face down feet away, it doesn't really give you much advantage beyond the auto spacing, meaning that the get up kicks they do will whiff and be easy to whiff punish. Compared to similar moves of similar speed, it's generally not worth using this move, and I believe, in my opinion, it's a move that's good for self-expression. It's a move you can use to show that you're a unique player and you're not just playing like every other Nina in the world. Unfortunately, with me saying that, it's a move I don't use very often, and I don't think, unless the properties of the move change a fair bit, I don't think anything's going to change in that regard. It's quite linear, it's got quite poor range, and its speed makes it kind of irrelevant too, just because it's the same speed as up forward 2-1 and back 3-4. It can be used as a wall break or a balcony break, and that's probably its best application. But in saying that, it's kind of inconsistent. It doesn't work well against female characters, or more, you have to shorten the combo to do it against female characters to make it not worth it. It's inconsistent against the larger characters, often not breaking as you'd want and instead sending the opponent flying or just whiffing. And the recovery afterwards isn't great. And for that reason, I think the best case to use it is on a balcony break opposed to a wall break. It does give slightly better Oki against the wall, but once again, you've got lower risk or faster or just stronger moves you can use in its place just as easily. Anyway, that's Nina's Shockwave Palm, or my take on it at least. Please comment below, what do you think of this move? Do you ever use it? Do you have any application to it that I have not listed? I'm sure there is plenty, and I'd love to hear it, because if I can find a reason, maybe I will start using it in my gameplay a bit more. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.
You win.
What's done is done.